Today we are testing 6 vegan mozzarella cheeses to see which ones are worthy of your pizza. We're gonna see how well they melt, brown, and most importantly, how they taste. I'm going to use the same dough and the same sauce for each pizza, and I also have a friend here with me to help me taste them. The cheeses I'm testing today are Violife Just Like Mozzarella Shreds, Miyoko's Liquid Vegan Pizza Mozzarella, Daiya Mozzarella-Style Shreds, Miyoko's Organic Cashew Milk Mozzarella, this is the block, Follow Your Heart Vegan Mozzarella, and 365 plant-based mozzarella-style cheese. The Miyoko's cheeses are both cashew-based, which makes them unique in this group. The others are oil and starch-based. The Daiya does advertise that it is made with chickpeas, but chickpea protein, I believe, is pretty far down on the ingredient list, so I wouldn't call it a base. So here's my procedure for each pizza. For the dough, I am using a basic American pizza dough recipe that I found on the pizza subreddit, and I am making multiple batches so I can get lots of small pizzas. And I am letting the dough sit in the refrigerator for 4 days before making the pizzas. This recipe says to refrigerate for 3 to 8 days with best results at 5 days, so we might be a day short, but I am also using my homemade sauce, which comes from my Detroit-style pizza recipe. These are not Detroit-style pizzas that I'm making today, but the sauce works on pretty much any pizza and it's delicious. I'll leave some links in the description below if you want to check out either the dough recipe or the sauce recipe. To try to keep it as even as possible, I weighed the sauce and the cheese, and I used 70 grams of sauce and 60 grams of cheese on each pizza. And I'm cooking the pizzas on vented pizza pans at 550 degrees Fahrenheit for 7 minutes. I will say that all the cheeses melted very nicely at this temperature. So if your oven goes up to 550, I would definitely use that temperature for your vegan pizzas. So with all that out of the way, let's get to the taste tests. So here to help me taste test these vegan pizzas, I have Dominique.
Hello, everyone.
You probably have seen her in some of my past taste tests.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for helping me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you ready to try some pizza?
Yes.
Let's do it. Our first cheese is the Violife Just Like Mozzarella Shreds. The shreds on this one are pretty thick and it melted really well, but you can still see the shape of each original shred pretty well with this cheese. There's also a bit of that greasiness from the sauce breaking through the pizza, but let's taste it and see how it does. All right, we have cheese number 1. It looks melted.
Yes. Actually, it looks pretty good.
It does have a little bit of a plasticky look to me.
Sure.
All right, let's see how it tastes.
Well, it is very mild. There's not too much to it. I don't detect any undertones.
Flavor-wise, it's kind of normal pizza cheese-y to me, like mozzarella-y. I think as far as the texture, it's just melted, but with no stretch at all.
Yeah, it goes into cheese sauce territory.
It's not bad.
No, it's decent. I guess it's about expectations. If you are really expecting something to really stretch out, this is not going to be it. But as you say, it has a nice mozzarella flavor. I like that it doesn't have, that it tastes like coconut oil or something that you would really taste texture-wise. A bit meh.
Yeah, I think it's tastes to me kind of standard vegan pizza. Yeah. Not bad for a vegan pizza, but it
doesn't wow.
Yeah, it's what you would expect from a vegan cheese. If you need cheese for a pizza, I think it's gonna make the pizza edible.
Oh yes, no, definitely, and it has a nice flavor. You couldn't fool anyone with this.
Right.
Going like,
no,
okay, this is real cheese. Nobody's gonna buy it. Okay. You want to tell me what cheese this is?
This is Violife.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Decent. Thumbs up.
All right, on to the next one.
Next one.
The second cheese is the Miyoko's Liquid Pizza Mozzarella. Since it's already liquid, there is no melting that has to happen, and there are no visible shred shapes. It was a little weird to pour on, but after the first try, it wasn't too challenging. You do have to keep it pretty thin so that it will actually firm up in the oven. And I think it's a pretty nice looking pizza, but will it taste as good as it looks? Let's find out.
That looks very different from the first one.
It does. Completely solid and melted.
It has like little bubbles. Ah, okay, let's go.
It's a little browned.
Mm-hmm. It was more like a little solid layer of cheesiness. I think the other one gave you more of an imagination of cheese because this is like very
Solid.
yeah.
Yeah, the other ones you could see the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
This has no stretch, but it does taste cheesy.
It does, yeah. It has a mild flavor. I think a little milder even than the first one. Or they're on the same level.
Mozzarella is not a strong flavor. I kind of like the flavor of this one better. Not sure why. I like it overall. I just think it doesn't have any stretch at all. Even for vegan cheese.
Again, more like a sauce.
Well, that's actually a pretty good guess of what it is because this is the Miyoko's liquid pizza mozzarella.
That's the new stuff.
Yeah,
Bottle.
you pour it on.
Yeah.
It's had very good reviews, so I definitely wanted to try it. I think the thing that stands out to me about this cheese, as far as bang for your buck, this doesn't really take a lot of the bottle to make one pizza. So
that's really good.
I've made 2 of these pizzas with the cheese in the bottle, and I probably haven't used more than a quarter or a third of the bottle. So you could probably get 6 small pizzas out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I paid $6.99 for it.
That's an okay price. I mean,
Yeah.
the Miyoko products are higher price anyway, but they're also quality-wise, they're really good.
Yeah, I think it's a good option.
It is. And it looked really nice, like coming out of the oven with like you said, like the slightly brown effect. Even though it doesn't have stretch, it still gives you a little bit of that baked cheesy quality from look-wise.
Right.
Approved.
All right, this one versus the first one.
It's very different from a profit type of deal. Probably this over the first one.
Even not considering the price, I think I prefer this one to the first one because the first one just had that super vegan cheese, what you would expect from a vegan cheese.
Like
and this one, I feel, even though it doesn't really replicate cheese exactly, it's not as
mild.
Noticeable as like, this is vegan cheese. It's, especially if you put a lot of toppings on it or something, you probably wouldn't notice that it's
correct. Yeah.
cheese or not cheese. So
yes,
I would probably go with this one over the first one. All right, let's go to the next one. The third cheese we're testing is the Daiya Mozzarella-Style shreds. And this cheese melted well, just like the Violife. The shreds are a little smaller though, so you will get more of that shredded cheese look if you like that. Daiya kind of shocked us by winning our grilled cheese taste test, so let's see if the shreds live up to the legacy of the slices.
And this looks again like vegan cheese.
Yeah, kind of has some like greasiness looking on top of it.
Yes, I saw that too. Yeah, where it's kind of like melting into the sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It stretches a little.
It stretches more than the first one.
It still feels a little goopy in my mouth.
Yeah.
This one has a little bit of that vegan cheese taste.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
It tastes even more than the first one, I would say. Could be like potato starch or something. But yeah, the stretching factor is probably the nicest on this one. It's a decent cheese, a decent vegan cheese.
yeah, it's different than the others, and it does have a little bit of stretch when you like pull it apart. It kind of stretches a little, but as far as taste, I think for sure the Miyoko's was better.
Yes.
Violife versus this one, I think the Violife might be even a little better.
Yeah. I find this kind of like the worst in terms of having that vegan cheese taste that people might be put off by.
Yeah.
So this has the strongest.
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, I think of it like plasticky kind of.
Yeah.
It's not plastic, but
Yeah, it's not going that extreme. I think in earlier times those shreds were going into that real extreme, but this gives you most of those hints. Yeah.
all right, well, this one was the Daiya.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
our last cheese taste
So
test,
the-
that
yeah.
was the winner, and
I know.
this one did not live up.
No, that's so weird. Because we really like the grilled cheese. Maybe they kept this with the old recipe and for the
They haven't
slices.
updated this recipe yet.
I
I
don't know.
don't know. So.
But it's still decent.
Yeah.
It is okay. It's kind of like fair enough.
All right,
All
on
right.
to the next one.
Yes.
Next, we are testing Miyoko's vegan cashew mozzarella, which is the cheese in the block form. To get this on the pizza, I had to put it in the freezer for 30 minutes or so and then grate it. So even after it's in the freezer, it was still pretty soft. So when I put the shreds on the pizza, they were sticking together in small clumps. You might prefer to actually slice this cheese and put it on the pizza rather than grate it. But this has been my go-to pizza cheese in the past, so let's see how it compares with the others.
Again, very different look.
It does have browning on top.
Yes. Yeah, bit of a shredded quality.
Yeah, all right.
No stretch.
Mm-mm.
But I like the taste of it.
It is very melted, very, but maybe not quite as liquidy as some of the others.
No, it seems the most like the Italian mozzarella.
Like the ball mozzarella, yeah. I like it. It doesn't give me that classic pizza taste, but it melts. No stretch.
No stretch.
Light, not heavy as cheese.
Yeah.
But all of them, I think, I like them.
True. None of them really have a pronounced flavor that, like, I always taste the sauce more than the cheese.
I'm actually having a hard time picking them out from each other and which one I really like the most because they're all kind of similar.
Yeah, and they're all decent, so none of them is terrible.
Yeah, I think I prefer the second one. There's just the flavor of it.
To me, this is a close second, though, at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't have that vegan cheese taste like the Violife and the Daiya. I think I would put this in second for right now.
Yeah, me too.
And this is the other Miyoko's, the block.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, so you had to shred it yourself.
Yes.
Very nice. Yes, approved.
All right, on to the next.
Yes.
On our fifth pizza, we are using Follow Your Heart vegan mozzarella. Right out of the oven, I would say that this one looks the most like a real cheese pizza, so let's taste it and see what happens. This is the most melty out of all of them.
Yeah, I wanted to say, boy, is this something. This is like really, wow.
But it's kind of goopy, like.
It is, yeah. And it doesn't stretch, but it looks very melty. And it tastes really good.
Yeah, it does have a good taste.
It mingles nicely with the tomato sauce. It's kind of like, again, the vegan cheeses are not gonna really compete with the dairy counterparts, but from the mouthfeel, this feels the most like it so far.
It is, I think, denser than the others. So I think it's close to cheese in some ways.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's in a great way. It's almost in like a mall pizza kind of way.
Mall pizza? I never had mall pizza, sorry.
I know, you're not American. I mean, it kind of looks like it too.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the greatest pizza. It's like the kind of a cheap pizza.
I get what you mean. When I took the first bite, I was just like, I really like this, but then it's also like, this tastes kind of unhealthy.
Yes, it almost is like a little greasy as well.
Yeah.
It reminds me when I was young and we would have the greasy pizzas and we would take our paper towel and napkin and like blot the grease off before we eat it because it was so greasy. They probably didn't have pizzas like that in Germany.
No, not that I can recall, but yeah. I get the gist what you mean. Oh my lord.
This kind of reminds me of those kind of pizzas.
Yeah.
So it's good.
But also bad.
Right. In an unhealthy processed kind of way.
Yeah, junk food.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for vegan junk food, this is probably the vegan cheese for you.
It's still not spot on for cheese.
No.
It still has a little more goop, not a stretch. It's not like solidifying like the way a regular cheese would when you just pull it and, you know. But when I was cutting it and you pull the slices apart, I mean, you had little strings and it was very... It had that look. So I think this is a pretty good option.
It is, yeah. So, who is this candidate?
Now it's stuck to my... This one is very... stick to my mouth.
It does, yeah, it has that a little bit too.
This is Follow Your Heart.
Okay.
This is pretty good. I think it just depends on what you want.
Right.
The Miyoko's liquid one, I would probably choose that over this one.
Yeah.
I think just flavor wise. But this one has a good flavor. It's just different.
Yeah, it's not, if you want to make a pizza that is a bit more like gourmet, or if you really want to put an effort into it, I probably wouldn't go for that cheese either. This is like really junk food. I want something greasy. That's very good, but in that category.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, well, we've got one more.
Last one.
Our final cheese is the 365 plant-based mozzarella-style cheese. This one almost didn't make it into the taste test because they were sold out on my first trip to the grocery store, but I did go back for it again, so I guess we will see if it was worth the extra trip to the grocery store. All right, last one. Let's try it.
Yes. Very similar to the first one, I feel. It has more of a taste than the first one. The look of it.
The look is very similar.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does have a little more taste, but it almost has a little aftertaste. Like the taste kind of changes as it goes.
Yeah.
It's also very liquidy.
Yeah.
And goopy. Kind of like blending with the sauce.
Yeah.
Into like a cheese sauce.
Yeah. I think they all have that kind of in common. Like none of them is like a dairy cheese that is kind of like forming a different layer really. At some point they marry the sauce and that's it. But yeah, there's an aftertaste. I can't put my finger on it what it is. Makes it a bit artificial.
Yeah, and this does have a little bit of stretch to it. Not like a ton, but between this and the Follow Your Heart, probably those are the only two that even had any stretch. So if you want that visual of the stretch, the Follow Your Heart or this one has it.
Yeah.
The Miyoko's, that liquid one, had the least amount. It was just like cut it and separate. That's it.
Yeah. And the other Miyoko?
Not really.
No. And the Daiya?
Yeah, maybe that one had a little bit. I would rate this as like a meets expectations vegan cheese.
It's solid. It's not great. It's not bad. Even with that little aftertaste. It's nothing that you would hate.
I do feel like if you served this to people who are not vegan, they would probably not love it.
True.
Some people might like, I'm not going to eat it.
It's not, this is not a cheese to convince omnivores.
Right. I think if I was going to, then it would be the Miyoko's liquid. Actually, either of the Miyoko's or the Follow Your Heart.
Yeah.
Depending on if they're junk food people or, you know, clean, healthy eating type of people.
Yes. The Miyoko is definitely more for the clean eating people.
I didn't even tell you what this is. This is a 365.
I kind of figured because I've bought this one before and
okay, so
I kind of
you recognize
I know
it.
this one, yeah.
But yeah, I would say the other three feel a little more artificial.
Yeah, probably this one the most.
I would say Follow Your Heart is probably the best, and then Violife, and then the 365 as being like the most artificial tasting.
Yes. So Miyoko wins.
I think so. I mean, I don't think it's an enthusiastic win, but I would devour that pizza. If I'm judging it as a whole pizza, and not just judging it on like the quality of the cheese itself, I would definitely eat that pizza. Yeah. Especially if you're putting other toppings and things on it. It's an unobtrusive cheese that's not going to destroy the pizza.
Not overpowering. Yeah.
Right, because some of the fake vegan cheeses, I a lot of times don't put any vegan cheese on my pizza at all because I feel like it's gonna stick to my mouth. I would rather just eat just the bread, the sauce, and the toppings. Yeah. Okay. But I think with the Miyoko's, actually either one of them, it would add something subtle and nice.
It's harmonic.
Yeah, to the whole pizza. Yeah, that's probably what I think I would use the most.
Yeah, same here. Probably, yeah. And then the Follow Your Heart, when you really want to go into the junk food. Yeah. I mean, it's very good on that level.
Yes.
It's just two very different routes. I think those three are like the top three. And the other three, I mean, if you buy them, you're not really making a mistake. It's
Right.
nothing that you would really regret.
Right, yeah, you would still eat the pizza. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I bought one of those, I would probably eat it and then, okay, maybe I'll try a different cheese next time.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be something that would go in the trash.
Yeah, exactly. None of these have been a failure, which is great.
Right.
Okay, so there you go. A pretty close matchup between these 6 cheeses. So in our top 3, we would put the Miyoko's liquid on top, and then in a close second, depending on what you want, it would be the Follow Your Heart or the Miyoko's block. All of those 3 we would put in the very good category. And then we'd have Violife, Daiya, and 365 in that order, rounding out the good but not convincing anyone to go vegan category. In case you watched our grilled cheese taste test and you were wondering, in this batch of cheeses, we did not see as many coming from Greece. Only 2 of these cheeses were made in Greece, which were the Violife and the 365. And those 2 tasted the most similar in that vegan cheesy kind of way, with 365 having more of that pronounced vegan cheese flavor. Daiya is made in Canada and the others are American made. I hope this video has helped you if you're looking to find a vegan cheese for your next pizza. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.